channel. So this is part 2 of learning sight words through activities or some games to make it easier for your child to remember them. So let's dive right into the video and see what games I have today for you. So the first one is a very simple activity that you can use for just recognizing sight words. I have the written repetitively among a lot of different words, and that is what I want the child to practice. So for example, the student is always getting confused and reading the incorrectly. So I have a lot of words, three letter CVC words that the child is very confident in reading, and some 4-letter words like and, can, read, tip, pat, etc. and also the sight word. Plus, just to add a little element of complexity, I have taken digraphs which also have the starting letter of TH, but of course the sound is different. So thumb, this, theme, these, that. So just to introduce a little element of confusion to the child. So I will just give this sheet to the child, and the child using a dot marker or dot stickers or just highlighter will kind of wherever the child finds is just going to place it on. I want the child to recognize come. So I have all letters, both CVC words, digraphs, as well as some other sight words along with the sight word in question, which is come. And to add a level of complexity, all the words begin with C, different sight words. So over here I am looking at sight words like he, she, the, we. So basically many sight words which are included on one page itself. And then the child, basically I just give the child a sheet of dot markers or dot stickers and just say, please can you just highlight all the sight words that you can find on this page. So of course the child knows that he is a sight word, whereas hen is not. Hat is not a sight word, but we is. So the next activity is a very simple one. You get many editable versions available off the internet wherein you can just fill in the words on the blank spaces on the racetrack, but I've just created something very simple on a plain printer paper with some sketch pens. So I've created a racetrack, and in the blank spaces I've written a lot of tricky words that I want the child to practice. I have my counter, so I'm using this for one child, but if you have multiple children that you want to practice this with, just increase the number of counters. You roll the dice, and if it is number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I read the tricky word mother, and it's only then if I read it I have a turn, otherwise I skip a turn. Whichever counter reaches first at the finish line is the winner. So a very simple activity, but it is twofold. You're playing, you're learning while playing, and secondly you're practicing tricky words. Now this game is something that I've created on paper, but definitely you can use your floor for this. You can either use washi tape or you can just wet a piece of chalk and then make the hopscotch design on your floor. So I am just taking a pom-pom because since it's a piece of paper, but on the floor you can take a bean bag or you can take dice or anything or a stone, and I just place it. So it's come and go, and then the child basically then with the fingers plays the hopscotch and then reads the word and then goes on. And once a child has read the word, you just cross it out. So this is a template that I've taken off the internet, which is of the famous snakes and ladders game, and basically the main purpose is to practice the sight words. I have a counter here and I have a dice. So basically, again, very simple rule. The child just rolls the dice, 6 to start, and then suppose the child already has a 6 and now 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a tricky word, so the child reads it. So reads it correctly, again gets a chance. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pulled, again a tricky word. So basically a combination of tricky words, digraphs and CVC words that the child can play. Another game wherein you have just laid out different consonants and vowels in front of the child, and now you give the child a timer, and then you say, how many sight words can you make from the letters laid out in front of you? So the child can be sh, e, she. I can make go. I could also make go, no. I can make me, or I can make when, W-H-E-N. I can make what, W-H-A-T, what. Reading is something which really helps a child remember and reinforce the concept of sight words or tricky words. The more the child reads, the more the child is able to recognize the pattern of sight words in books. Now, one thing that I normally do is, for a beginner reader, it can get really overwhelming. As many games as you play, or as many times a child reads the sight words, practices them, the child is bound to get confused, because at this time the child has just learned to blend, the child has just worked with diagraphs, and then you're overwhelming the child with tricky words. So one way that I like to kind of help the child is I have this book with me, and if you see that most of the words are in a little flower pattern, which is the pattern which is used for sight words in Jolly Phonics. So Jolly Phonics is the methodology that I use to teach my kids, and basically said is a tricky word, so that is why I have put a flower pattern around it. So whenever the child sees a flower pattern, the child recognizes, oh, this is a tricky word, and so it cannot be read using the normal phonetic sounds. So the child basically then reads said, one as tricky words. Father also needs to be highlighted here, because that's also a tricky word. Now down. Now many people think that down is a tricky word, but no. OW comes in level 2 of ow. It has the alternative vowel sound ow. So the ow, down. So it becomes again a digraph. So then, as the child has practiced, slowly I just eliminate the highlighting, and now the child should be able to just read the books easily by recognizing the sight words from the normal phonetic. So I hope you liked today's video. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon to be notified for more videos, and please post in the comments below which was your favorite activity out of the two lots. So see you again. Happy learning.